So this is the reading introducing the SAT math section. As you can see, it's just about the math section. So usually when we read this, we of course number the pages, underline, highlight stuff, but since it's online, it's hard to annotate unless you open it in a reader. What I want you to notice, of course, when you read through are the headings. So I'm gonna just talk briefly so you have an idea. So the first section is focus on math that matters most. And it talks about the type of questions, like what kind of math is on the SAT. And as you can see, it all fits on one page. So it's not like you have to learn everything, but there is a lot of topics, and just understand what those are. On the next page, it says what the math test assesses, and it's like what skills are they assessing. So that's very important, and we'll talk more about that, but make sure you read it. It's like, it's not just solving math exactly. How do they do it? That's a big part of the SAT, is how they ask the questions, not just what the topics are. Also, problems grounded in real world contexts. That talks about that it involves things like in science and business and things like that, and other scenarios. The last section is the makeup of the SAT math test. So that talks about specifically how the questions are divided up. So there's a specific number of questions of a certain type. For example, calculator, no calculator, multiple choice gridded response questions. You can read about what those are. And a little bit more reference sheet, and it gives actually a list on how the test is divided up. So just read it to get familiar with it. It's not like you have to memorize this, but it is good to know for the SAT. Then there are some questions here. Just what did you learn from the chapter? Just thinking that over. And the sidebars. What is a sidebar? It's just these things on the side over here. And for example, this one talks about Khan Academy. Make sure to read those because they're information put aside. So just read those as you go along. And the first page talks about the topics. So read through those and think, what do I need to help with? Maybe you can mention also what you're strong in when you're describing. Why did you pick the topics that you did? Just thinking about what math you know and don't know. And the last one is more just a what you think question. So the test is divided up in different ways. So this is more an opinion. Why do you think they did it that way? Just thinking, because there's a logic to it. And just what logic do they have? So that's the reading. Just take your time and read through it. Later on, we will mostly just be doing questions about the SAT, but this is a good intro, just an overview. So please take your time to do this, and we'll talk about this later in the week.